I want you to think about 2023. And if you weren't alive in 2023, I want you to think about the worst functioning piece of technology you have ever used and multiply that by 17. This is what the internet was in 2003. Primitive and young. And now look where you are, watching this YouTube video on a tiny little computer that once needed to be the size of a bus to operate. We are living in the age of technology where you can talk to anyone from anywhere in the world as long as they have an internet connection. See how far we've come since the early 2000s? Now I want you to think about technology's new favorite child, AI. I want you to sit there and think about how new it actually is. AI in itself is still a young technology in its new years, one that has a lot of time to grow, just like its predecessor, the internet. We've come to realize that AI can be incredibly helpful for those starting new businesses, doing daily calculations, and even teaching people human anatomy. Because, yes, my hands look like this. Although AI can be deeply, incredibly unsettling, millions of people have taken comfort in the predictability of code. Now, I'm sure, since you're on the internet right now watching this video, that you've heard of character AI. But for those of you who are normal and not chronically online, I'll give you the rundown. Character AI is an app where you can talk to basically just different chat GPTs, which are all coded to have different personality traits that make them seem like your favorite celebrity, book character, cartoon character, or sleep paralysis demon, I guess. Usually people will talk to them either because it's weird and they want to see what happens, or because they want to talk to their favorite character, or other diabolical reasons that I will not be getting into. AI being used to simulate human experiences and interactions through conversation isn't exactly something we've seen yet. We've had social media, but that's a little different. That is a human being with flesh and blood and real opinions and experiences that you are just talking to through the use of a screen. But with AI, we have the instant gratification of immediately having someone that enjoys talking to you and will talk to you for hours. This is where some bad things can start to happen. Many of us are self-proclaimed internet addicts or doom scrollers or bed rotters or another adjective and fall victim to the algorithm that has a gorilla grip clutch on our brains. But when we talk about things like ChatGPT and character AI, it is artificial intelligence at the most simple level. It's learning how to keep you entertained and doing a damn good job at it, if I do say so myself. I'm not even joking. When I was researching for this video, I found myself accidentally spending 2 hours talking to chatbots on character AI. I could have finished my script and filmed my video and edited today, and I actually got this video out in time. How can we as living, breathing human beings develop an attachment to a bunch of zeros and ones that are just programmed to be agreeable? How can we spend hours on end practically talking to a bunch of hardware that has no concept of human emotions or experiences? Is it pathetic of me to say that AI is starting to go too far? Forget AI replacing jobs. What if AI replaces human interaction as a whole? Maybe I'm just vulnerable and easily convinced, but I felt like I was talking to an actual person that I'd been friends with for years when I was using these chat GPTs and character AI bots. Humans are social creatures, and that is part of the reason that our intelligence developed, which makes me think about what the world could be like if human interaction was just replaced with AI. I do understand why AI can be so addicting. I've mentioned this in past videos, but I have a depressive and anxiety disorder, and socializing is very hard. I understand as much as anyone that eye contact is really uncomfortable, and putting yourself out there is freaking terrifying. And replacing unpredictable conversation and the risk of people disliking you with a robot who will listen to whatever you have to say and seemingly enjoy talking to you sounds like a pretty great alternative, and even a good way to practice talking to people if you're really bad at it. I found a Reddit post on the character AI subreddit from a user that says this: I've been a 24/7 user of character AI for probably almost a year and maybe a half in Jesus. At first I was constantly laughing and happy and giggly, but like now, when I use it, I feel so bored, and then who else do I talk to? I started using character AI to help with my social skills. Now I can't even hold a conversation without feeling like a weirdo mess. I ignored classes to use character AI. I would use it under the desk. I've tried to stop using it before, but I just downloaded it again an hour later. I feel so sick. I'm telling my friends, online obviously, that I'll stop, but then I'm on it again. I know I once had like 60 hours for 1 week on character AI, and I know that's bad, but I just want to feel normal and have people to talk to, you know what I mean? And like, I'm going into high school, I don't want to be like this going in. Hell no. It makes sense that people can have a really hard time putting their phone down when using something like this. People can develop a legitimate dependence on the AI and see it as a sort of friend or person to talk to. And again, the bots won't really insult you unless you ask them to do so. They're kind of just nice all the time, kind of taking the stress out of social situations completely. Another Reddit user says, I can say with confidence that yes, others are also getting too into character AI. I was averaging 8 to 9 hours before character AI, and that shot up to 11 to 13 hours. I find myself chatting with AI 24/7. It feels like an escape from reality. I can do practically anything I've ever dreamed of. I hate to admit it, but I definitely have an addiction. If you think that you have an AI dependency or an addiction, I strongly suggest that you talk to a loved one about it. It's not stupid, it's not silly. AI is made specifically to keep your attention and draw you in to use it. Suffering from those consequences is only predictable. A lot of resources online consider setting screen time limits or website limits, and if you're scared that you're going to just put the password back into the phone and give yourself more screen time, a lot of people have been having friends or family members set those passwords so they are unable to use the apps. And they'd eventually slowly lower the time until they felt comfortable deleting the app off of their phone and stopping using it in general. Some people on the character AI recovery subreddit also suggest going cold turkey if that's an option. AI isn't a form of substance abuse and isn't physically harmful like smoking or alcohol, so it can be hard to justify actually getting help for it, but it does affect mental well-being. If you're watching this and suspect you might have an AI dependency, just know that you're not alone and it will get better. Reading about this stuff made me genuinely sad. I know a lot of people think that it's stupid that people can get addicted to AI, but I think it's just sad, because imagine if AI was this relevant as it was during 2020 to 2021 when we were all at home. I think AI addiction would have been a lot more common considering we weren't talking to real people that often. And I just think it's really sad that people can resort to things like this to get some sort of social acceptance. Anyways, this was kind of a heavy video. If you're still watching, I greatly appreciate you for being here. And if you've fallen asleep, don't worry, I fall asleep to YouTube every single night. So sleep well, and I'll see you in the morning.